Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another episode of Toth War Arena. So, coming out with some of my favourite infantry. I just love these Barbarian Infantry. They're just so much fun to play. They're not the best unit in the game, you know, there's no point trying to pronounce that they are, but they're just so much fun playing as Barbarian Infantry. I love the flexibility, and I love them with Vercingetorix. I love the Scorched Earth from the Iron Discipline, the Javelins, the fact you get a slam. They just have everything for the perfect flexible commander. And that sort of combination of mobility and options just makes them the perfect unit, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think there's not really a lot to say about these guys. I did a video on them a couple of weeks ago, which proved quite popular, and I'm certainly happy to play them. So I thought, well, in absence of a better plan, I might as well have another game with these guys on video and see how we get on with them. I really need to get these guys just finished off, though, and get onto the Andratus swords. Because, largely because I'm really looking forward to Andratus Roar, which seems really nice as well. We still get Slam, the greatest strike in the game other than the hamstring, and a nice charge. It's a shame you lose the javelins, but Andratus will be kind of interesting for that morale flanking damage. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting onto the tier 7s. Other than that, I'm just running them with the Feast consumable, largely because I think that's really the only viable option. A lot of these things are all, what's the word, active consumables, which I largely detest. So it's between Feast, Spar and Swear Oaths. Impact damage is completely irrelevant. Movement speed would be nice, but it's only 7%, and it's not going to make that much difference. Spar, again, impact damage, melee attack, charge deflect. I mean, how often does a little bit of charge deflect going to make much difference? But this, with the melee defense, good, makes your unit a bit more resilient. The weapon damage and that penetration damage means you're going to be continually applying more damage to enemy units once you engage them, and even better once you rout them and you can cut them down. So yeah, that's all there is to really say about these guys. So let's just hop straight into a battle and see if we can sort of burn some people with our Scorched Earth. So we are loading into Salernum with our Barbarian Infantry. Not really a lot of choice on this map where to go with these guys. Obviously, I will want to be fastidiously avoiding the city and all those Romans and the roads. So the only real patch of forest is this little small square that I've been allocated over here, and that's really my only opening choice. So I'm going to start pushing over there from the off. I'm going to have to be a little bit hesitant based on what, if anything, comes with me. Because it's quite easy to get overwhelmed at this point, and if I'm miles away from any support, then it's not worth killing myself just to say I was in the forest, if that makes sense. So we've got to be a little bit careful. Looks like we're going to have some light artillery in support, which is good. Hoping these Romans were going to push up with me, but it doesn't look like they are. Looks like we're going to get quite a bit of archer support, though. Well, those guys have to be seriously careful if they're going to send 6 units of ranged unprotected to the middle of the map. Because these Gunganier chargers will have them if they knew they were there. Particularly if they're going to have the observation tower. Although it looks like with us moving up there being pushed back slightly. So I'm just going to run sort of roughly down the middle so I can make for the forest and the flag sort of combined. It would be nice to take the flag just so I can see what I'm up against. You know, if we take this and there's 8 units of Romans down here, I know I do not want to be advancing. But it doesn't look like there is. So it looks like we've got some artillery, which I just want to move because I'm about to get shot at by, and some Barbarian Infantry in the forest. Now, our Architect's nervous about moving up. Doesn't look like any of our slingers and stuff really are moving up. So if we're going to fight these Barbarians, it's going to be on our own, and they are going to have enemy artillery to contend with. So my initial observation is, let's push these guys up. Let's go hard. Let's try and catch them. They're going to javelin me. Good move. Ah, they've done it better than me. You guys pull out. Come on, please engage. Cap that quickly. Let's get our Scorched Earth off. Come on, guys. That's what we want. Now let's go for a slam. Come on. Oh, I'm silenced myself like an utter moron. At least we meant we got a good amount of damage in there, though. Push it up that way, try and get a charge off, but it's not going to be enough. We will get a bit of a harass off. Looks like we actually run the harass charge. I'm hoping that they activated all of their defiance. No, they didn't, because there it goes. We have, of course, got another Scorched Earth that we can cycle over. If you wanted to wonder why you shouldn't blob, this is basically it, because it means I can cycle my Scorched Earth like this against you a lot easier. And now they're going to push in like that. Let's go for a slam. So we've got to remember these are equal units, but in essence we are currently winning. mostly because of their unit positioning. And without like wishing to sound overconfident, you know, I know that you can do this. They're just going to set themselves up for a perfect slam there. Because this is how people tend to behave, particularly in forests like this, and it makes it for prime candidates for beating these guys. Obviously, they're going to get some damage in on us, which they are doing, but I'm not too worried. Let's go for it. They're going to try and escape, but we can go for a harass. Let's try and get onto that one that's already about to rout. It would be nice if we can get them to go, because they'll probably completely destroy. Can they completely go? There they go. Just get a slam on these guys. Get them dead. Oh, that actually not actually died. There they go. And then one unit to go. It looks like they've given up on life now. Let's just try and finish these guys off. We're now blobbing a little bit ourselves. But there we go. In essence, equal tiers, but better unit position wins you the match. And particularly making use of Scorched Earth in that situation. If you can engage all three of them with one unit, you have Iron Discipline and Defiance. And they don't get any benefit by standing through units on one spot. You know, versus your one unit, it allows you 2 units to throw Scorched Earth. And then they pulled out, and it allowed me just to sort of cycle it with my spare unit. So, yeah, certainly worked out better for me. Now, we know the enemy artillery was up on this hill here, so I'm going to try and use this tall glass as this nice tall piece of glass, no, this tall grass as cover to push out this forest, and I'm going to come across the edge here, and then hopefully that's going to put us in a relatively close range to this artillery before they spot me. And as all they've got is one unit of Hastati with them. So I reckon we're going to be spotted around about now. So I'm going to go for a charge. Just to gain ground, I want to get as close as I can, as quickly as I can, because we've still got to deal with these stakes. I'm going to set one unit on the stakes straight away. Looks like we've got allied support coming in here. I might go for Scorched Earth, or is that just going to be more of a negative than it is a positive? Let's get some javelins on those enemy guys there. And let's come in for these stakes, because if we're pushing in through the stakes, we'll start to take a lot of damage. There we go. I think that's them largely dealt with. We'll go for Iron Discipline and Defiance. No reason why not, to be honest. And let's push into the back of these Romans. We should get some pretty nice damage on them. We're 2 tiers higher than them, so shouldn't really be a problem for us. I wouldn't expect. Yeah. There we go. Racking up pretty good damage against them. They're not really doing a lot to us. Not really a problem for us. Still a pretty close battle though, so we've got to be careful to minimise losses where we can. I'd rather those guys didn't shoot into me. Although, you know, because they're causing damage to themselves as well. Elephants. Okay. Now we're going to have to get out of here in a second. I'm just trying to see if we can get rid of this Hastati first. I think those elephants are just going to walk past us. Okay, they're gone. Let's get out of here. I am not sticking around to fight elephants with Barbarian Infantry. That would be a huge error. So, let's look at the situation. Our base is greatly threatened now. Am I going to be too far away? Right, I'm just going straight back to base. Start trying to gain as much ground as we can. Just using our charge as a bit of a movement speed bonus. What's the quickest way to our base from here? I'm not going to make it, am I? We'll keep our units combined. I'd rather go in one unit. Unless some of our slingers are going to be able to get back, but there are not very many of them, so the odds of them getting back and getting spots, I think we've probably thrown this game away. I just wasn't observant enough. But we don't need to be shooting against them. You need to be getting into the enemy units in base. Go for a charge. Hopefully I'm not going to hit that tower. No, looks like we get away with it. Come on, guys. This is where you need more speed. This is where I wish I had Barbarian Cavalry instead of just an infantry unit. Of course, we can't even get spots on what they are, these Macedonians up at the back. If our slingers can push up a little bit more. Come on, slingers. Please, please. Good, 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 good. Now just do it on the other unit and we will stand a serious chance of being able to pull this one back. Although, having said that, the game's tipping pretty badly against us. And they're a little bit more concentrated than I would really like, particularly with these Armoured Legionaries coming back. It's going to make things pretty difficult for us. Yeah. Not ideal, to be honest. If I can sort of isolate people on their own, then Barbarians work pretty well. But in sort of pitched engagements, that's where they really start to struggle. And this is going to look like a fairly pitched engagement because there's too many units here. If these Romans hadn't come back, I might have been able to deal with it. But this is going to be a lot harder. It's brought us time, but without more support, it's going to be hard. It looks like all our javelins have decided to engage in melee combat. Again, not ideal. Quite what I would picked. Oh dear, how are we going to do this? With difficulty. So, let's push down. We've got these guys here. They could do with just holding on a little bit. It looks like our slingers threw their lives away as well, which is the one good unit we have to decapping. Those guys can nicely hold themselves there. I can get a good scorched earth in. It's not really going to help me. I'm going to use a harass because I'm not going to be charging into any of these units. So let's just get down, get close as we can, or as good a scorched or throw as we can muster. Okay, it's a good scorched earth throw, I won't deny. And then let's start to get in with some javelins into the back of these guys. Oh, that's going to hurt. That's not ideal. Push these guys round. Because all we can do now is try and flank. And go on. Which one's the silencing one? No, I went the wrong way round. And we might be able to get these guys to rout, which we will, but we're now going to get walked into by a ton of enemy Roman infantry. Come on, die, and let me get out of this stupid fight. Okay, move. Running out. This is where the barbarians can come into the road. Trying to use my speed to get away from these Roman armoured legionaries. Hopefully they're not Sulla. They're not. They are vengeance activated, so we need to get away from them because we won't be able to beat them in any sort of fight. We might be able to pull this one back, actually. We didn't take many losses there, and we completely eliminated that enemy unit. So, yeah, things aren't looking too bad with that. So, what have we got to contend with? We've got some pikemen, which don't have any missile block. So let's push forwards, and go for them. Particularly if these Romans turn their back, we should hit a bit of everyone there, which we did quite nicely. So, provided a good bit of decap. We're going to get our Scorched Earth back quite nicely there as well. So if they're going to stand in that nice blob for me, then I shall nicely burn them. Yeah. Oh dear. It almost feels cruel, doesn't it, really? The still in pike phalanx. Well, they've realised that was an error. Okay, well that burnt most of them to death. Have we used all our javelins? Now we've got one javelin toss remaining. And we've got these Gungnir chargers. Keep an eye on them. We've used the vengeance on those Romans, that much we know. So we have one decap potential left. Let's keep you back. Go in with you. Just keeping the decap going. Not providing actually that much of a decap in that sort of situation. But I don't need to get involved yet. We don't know how our allies are doing in this sort of situation. Obviously, ideally, these pike phalanx will walk past this line. Because if they come past this wall, then that will just be a perfect opportunity for me. Let's try and bait out their heavy infantry charge. They're not going to go for it, so I'll go for them. Particularly if they're going to turn their back on me like that. They use their charge too late. Now, these guys here have got a choice. First one gone. And there we go. We capped out the enemy base anyway. Excellent. That was a really fun game. That is where Barbarian Infantry are absolutely perfect in that sort of situation where you can make use of your flexibility to engage, disengage. You know, we were able to sort of, even in quite a crowded space, isolate that unit of enemy spearmen, engage them, flank them, and rout them, and then escape before the Romans with vengeance caught up with us and all the pikes drove into us. So, yeah, hopefully that's kind of a good example of how Barbarian Infantry work, or how they should work when they are working well. So, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that video, guys. If you did, let me know what you think.